I see you're still awake, and I don't blame you. It's hard to lay your head down when your mind is racing, telling you there's so much out there in the dark, waiting to pry your mouth open and crawl inside. George Purdy learned this the hard way. It was his old uncle's cabin that he had chosen to hide out in, figuring, after a couple of weeks laying low, they could ride out of the Missoula North Hills rich men. When Thomas Fry and his brother David took sick, showing signs of the spotted fever, the smart thing would have been to get out right quick. But George, Bill, and Reno, well, they got greedy. Afeared of being caught and figuring that a cash box split 3 ways was somewhat more attractive than splitting it 5. Instead of seeking treatment, they tossed the Fry brothers in the basement to die. In so doing, George Purdy himself would die in that cabin as well, consumed by greed and prairie ticks. Meanwhile, our heroes, Amadeus Haddock and Bob Morrow, are now living on borrowed time. Guts full of sucking parasites, their only hope was a desperate ride out of them same hills and into the deep, dark woods of Deadlands. Hey there. Hi, everybody.
Cheers.
Welcome back. So we are down 1 player for this week. Ryan is off enjoying the sunny beaches of, I don't know, somewhere else, and but that's all right. I have contingency plans within contingency plans. Real quickly though, we're going to go introduce the all the players that we do have here at the table tonight. And what you folks at home may have missed is that all our heroes got a little bit of an upgrade. They all leveled up after the adventure of the cabin in the woods last week. And so, when you introduce yourself and your character, tell us what you did with that advance as well. And we're going to start with Amadeus Amy Haddock down at the bottom.
Howdy, y'all. Todd Moonbounce here, playing Amadeus Amy Haddock. And after our adventures in the woods and dealing with a lump in my throat, I decided to upgrade to Steady Hands Edge, which will give me just that on the back of Pylon, my trusty steed, or also running in or away from battle, just help out with my shots.
All right, and then moving clockwise up around the screen, we go to Bob Morrow.
Bob Morrow has dug into a spirit of 8, increasing from the 6 that they had before. So that's kind of boring, but it's not an edge, but it leads to so many more edges that may be possible.
Okay,
I would say.
And you want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. I am Bizarre Hands. I am available on both Instagram as well as the Twitters. You can find me there, but really, you need to know that I'm known as Bob, or They call me
Okay.
Bob.
All right. And then last on the clock face here, we got Jaemison Jem Freeman.
Howdy, everybody. I am Candace the Magnificent, playing Jaemison Jem Freeman. My pronouns are she, they, and I decided to raise my survival instincts because Jem's been out on the road some and understands the prayer. And I also raised up my persuasion so that hopefully I can get that Annie to take a shine to me.
Okay. All right. So, and with that, let's get into the events of last week, rapid recount, and sort of pick up where we last left off. So, the posse, having endured themselves to the local law by helping track down and capture some road agents in a cabin in the woods that have been plaguing the area around the Rattlesnake Creek, must now race back to town to save the lives of two of their own who have become infected by dangerous parasites. So, the sheriff wants you guys to tell him about what had happened to you guys, and Morrow, you had remembered a possible cure for this problem.
And it was castor oil to be
Right.
taken in thorough sort of dispensation. We need to drink it up.
Right. All right. So, knowing all that, we're going to run you guys getting back to Missoula as a dramatic task in Savageworlds.
Ooh.
So here's how it works in the dramatic task. I give you a certain number of successes that you must achieve, and normally there's a certain amount of time, but the time limit in this case is built into the effects of having a prairie tick in your gullet. Which is that we're gonna do. I'm breaking the ride back into rounds. Each round covers an hour of riding back to Missoula. So each skill attempt that you make is during that hour. You must collect 9 successes to reach Missoula. And so if you can do that in under 3 hours, you should arrive there alive. If it takes you longer than 3 hours, then things get dicey. Because at the end of every hour, you got to make a vigor check or lose blood, or gain a fatigue from a blood loss to the ticks suckling at your guts. For this dramatic task, writing, notice, and survival can be made every round that we're doing this. Right? Those are perennial skills checks that you can make. All your other skills are up for grabs. If you can legitimately convince me why you can use any other skill for your test that round, fine. I got no problem with that. But after that first use, any additional use of those skills by anybody is at -2. So, writing, notice, and survival are your go-tos. Any other skill, you get 1 safe use of it. And of course, as always with the dramatic task, if you're dealt a club while we're figuring out who goes first, your action that round is also at a -2 because clubs are just bad news. However, what would normally be in a dramatic task, which is failing or critically failing a club, would you mean failing the whole thing and basically bringing the dramatic task to an end? That doesn't exactly make sense in this situation. But it will mean that your character, for one reason or another, can no longer contribute to the collection of successes. So don't critically fail when you've been dealt a club.
Okay.
Or you're slowing down the whole group. All right, so.
Show's about to end a little early, I think. Thanks for coming out to the finale, folks.
So, real quickly, I'm going to bring tokens out here on the board so I can actually add you to the combat tracker. It's just going to be the 3 of you, so it is going to be just 9 successes you need to get back to town. I was going to make it 12 if it was going to be if Clayton were here, but because the math is Savageworlds. That's just how it works.
Marshal, what happened to Clayton?
Clayton and Sheriff Morris are securing the prisoners and bringing them back, and making sure that that the cabin burns down to the ground and nothing escapes. But the sheriff suggests that the 3 of you head back to town immediately. He tells you the location of the Sisters of Providence Hospital, which is run by a handful of Catholic nuns down in Missoula. They know how to deal with this. He says you head straight for there, and they can take care of you. So, with that in mind, here we go.
Mighty glad for that recommendation.
Yeah.
Oh no.
All right, so I see 1 club has been dealt to Jem Freeman.
Mr. Critical Fail himself.
However,
The worst.
you may, of course, spend a penny, get a different card. Won't guarantee you're not going to get a club, but you may.
But we want to dig into that. Yes.
Okay, so Freeman, you're taking a new a new club card there. All right, let's see what you get. Draw a card, and instead of the 8 of clubs, you get. Wait, what? Oh, instead of the
7 of clubs.
Oh yeah, you get a 7 of clubs. Oh, that's weird. Okay. There's something weird in this deck of cards because.
No way. No way.
8 of clubs.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
This is what we're doing tonight, I guess, guys.
Oh, spending another
There
one?
Go. Yep.
No, there is something wrong with my deck because your next option is the 3 of clubs.
News.
Would you like the 3 of clubs or hold on to your 8 of clubs?
I mean, I guess I'll hold on to the 8 of clubs, but I weep for all of us.
Okay. All right. Wait, well, now it's saying you get the 8 of diamonds.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's better.
Okay,
Yep,
we'll
yep,
go with
yep.
it. That is really weird. Something's going a little hinky with the deck. All right, but we're gonna roll with it. All right, so
Prairie
Walsh.
gremlins.
Yeah, Walsh, kicking off with you. Get dealt the 8 of spades. What are you gonna do to move to giddy up on the mosey there back to town?
I think that we're digging into riding, like if that were a possibility, like just sort of assuming that we can get up on those horses and
Yeah. All right.
really whip them. Not I mean, be encouraging towards them getting us back to Missoula.
No need to be
on a-
polite about
on a-
this.
Or... Thank you.
All right, so give me that writing check.
All right. Just a
Yeah.
5, so only a
Are you
success,
happy with that?
no raise.
Yep.
Yes, I am.
All right.
Yep.
There we go. That's 1 coin on the table for you. To mark your first success, your first token collected in this challenge. Moving on down the line, Freeman, you're up.
I am going to go ahead and use my survival.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out the
That is
terrain, make sure.
Yeah, okay. That is a 4, which is a success, and if you're happy with that, put another coin on the table. Haddock, you're
I'm
up
going to be
next.
happy with that. I'm nervous.
Well, you got this.
We
You
should
got
be
this.
in a complete state of panic and shock. Maybe trying to suppress that as much as I can. Amy will often turn to his music to try and calm himself. It's his escape, and maybe externally playing it up as a way to comfort his companions. But along with his ability to be steady on his horse, he'd pull out his harmonica and try and play a tune to comfort both himself and his companions as we race down the mountain back to Missoula. So I would like to go for performance.
All right. Trying to play a happy, jaunty tune to keep the fear at bay.
Trying.
All right, let's hear it. Four is a success.
I'll take it.
All right. Another coin goes on the desk, and that's 3 successes in the hour, and you've moved 1/3 of the way back to Missoula. Now it's time for the 2 infectees to make vigor checks.
That's fair. Yes. So we need to drop it down.
Oh, nice.
Oh, no. You show me how it's done. Like
Amy rolls a
absolutely.
9. That's a
that was-
success and a raise, so you're real solid.
Yeah, that's the way. Yeah.
You're just clenching up that gut,
Alrighty.
not giving them any of your blood. Now, Morris, how about you? Or Morrow, sorry.
Digging in. And not so tidy, but just a basic success.
That is a success.
If there's
yeah.
no punishment. Yep. Okay.
All right, and then with that, let's see. We'll call that the end of that round and start of the next one. Walsh, you pull the high card with the ace of clubs.
Well. Tidy. I think I did riding last round, but I want to kind of diversify and dig into notice was another option as well.
Yeah.
Or
Notice, survival and riding. Notice basically riding, just basically making sure your horses keep up the pace. Survival
Okay.
for looking for rock things that can slow you guys down, that sort of thing. And notice for just finding shortcuts.
Okay. Maybe we will dig into riding again, just to be sure.
Well,
There
that
is a-
seems nice. That's a 7. That's
It's
one
not
short
quite-
of a raise.
Do we have +1s, and can we use them in this
Let's
dramatic
check.
pass?
Let's see here. Let's check to see what the current party resources say. Currently, okay. In that case,
maybe if we've only got 1 + 1, maybe we just let it ride and just have
No,
it.
that's pushes you to a guaranteed raise.
No,
I'm okay with it.
So that takes us. Yep.
That's two.
All right.
That's 2
Bless you.
successes. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
that would. So if you're
I'm
gonna
with you.
use that and take 2 and make a hit and a raise, that'll be 2 more coins added to the table, bringing your total to 5.
Nice.
So if you got 5 coins, all good. And then, oh, hang on. I'm sorry. Hang on. I'm sorry. Maybe you should take that +1 back.
Oh yeah, because
Okay.
Because
-2.
you were given a club, which would actually make that roll a -2, which would bring that 7 down to a 5. So,
Any it.
No. But if I've got a club, I don't want to penny it because I've got that -2. Like
It's all right,
I'm just
yeah,
a
success is
clubby-
fine.
Yeah.
I'm not
single
clubby,
success.
All right.
Dark.
So
Yep.
a little bit of a
No.
fix. You still got a success. So you still earned a marker, and we go to
Right,
Haddock next.
But I don't. Okay.
Haddock,
All
you're up.
right. A gurgle in my stomach, just somewhere in my chest, and I just kind of put my harmonica away and look up. It says, look ahead to Bob and Jem kind of leading the way. Say, you know any shortcuts? It'd sure be nice to find them. And I peer ahead between them and see if I can find anything myself for us to cut this trip short with a notice.
Okay. 4 is a success.
Take it.
All right. And Freeman, you're up.
I'm
We've got
gonna go ahead and
5 of the 9 they need to get back to Missoula this round before they fall off their horses from their own loss of blood.
So can I, as I'm like riding along, can I use my my athletics to try to like prop Morrow up on his horse since he's flagging a little bit?
Well, I mean, they're doing pretty well. I mean, neither of them have failed their vigor checks, so they're still pretty coherent.
Okay.
But if you want to do something, just to
I'll do survival and see where they're at with their vigor next round. Fingers crossed they're good, but I'm
All right.
here if you're not good, guys.
Okay. All right, so give me that survival roll.
Just
4.
turned over.
That is a success. All right, into the second round. You've collected 6 of the 9 that you needed, and Walsh and Haddock must again make a vigor check.
Oh.
Oh, doing well on those vigor checks. So Amy pulls out fine with a success. Morrow.
Let's shake it down.
Come on, man.
We coming? Or not?
Anytime now. It's the one that says vigor.
Or it is.
There we go. What? That was only one die,
Well,
wasn't? Okay. What was it not rolling for you? What was going on?
I'm trying to dig into vigor, but it is not rolling. Or hold on. Oh, there we go.
All right. Well, you already rolled a 5 and a 2, so we're just gonna go with
Right.
that. The 5 is a success, so you do not fail that vigor check as well. All good. Or not last round, but hopefully the last round. High card goes to Walsh
no.
once again with the King of Clubs. Freeman also pulled a club. Both of those checks, if those cards
And those-
stand, will be at -2.
Oh, -2.
I'd like to
Commerce.
spend a group Benny.
Do we have any group bennies? Party Resources says we have 6. I'm checking with the voice and the hunting grounds, making sure that that's accurate. 12. Okay.
Ooh.
So you got plenty to spend. All right. So, so let's see here.
Loads of aid from the spirits.
So let's see. Why am I not able to? Oh, there we go. Draw a card. How's the 3 of Hearts? Does that sound better?
Enough. Good enough for
Walsh,
me.
you gonna sit on that King of Clubs, or do you want something else?
I think I could kick in a Benny to sort of not have the -2.
You gonna use your own, or you want to draw from that big pile sitting in the hunting grounds?
Let's draw from that big old pile to.
All right. All right. So then, drawing a card for you, and we get the Jack of Clubs. You want to try again?
No, that's what I get.
All right.
I deserve it.
Okay. So Walsh, you're still going first. What you gonna do?
But at a -2.
At a -2.
Drummers.
and you're
Okay.
now 2/3 of the way
Let's
down.
dig into-
Down. You've now gotten out of the mountain areas, and you hit the foothills. You can see the lights of Missoula in the distance.
All right, so like that's got to be like a little bit comforting. Like, we're here, we're almost home. So digging into riding at a -2, I think.
Yeah.
Because of the clubs. Okay, and just sort of confident that that we're going to be home soon, and that we've got, like, imagining that warm that warm hearth, and like just being home, Yeah, there we go. So a 7
Nicely
with a
done.
-2.
+1 to that. +1 to that.
Yeah.
Nice.
No.
Okay, so
Because
that-
this is still a club. So did you give yourself the actual -2 on that?
He did.
You did? All
Yep,
right. So
because of the club.
if you
Yep.
if you take a +1 now, that'll be a hit and a raise.
Well, I thank you. Like,
Okay.
it's I'm absolutely ready
Yes or
to
no?
just be resting. Like, I want to
Yes or no?
I want to sleep. Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much. All right. Haddock, you're up.
All right. Just continuing to push off the panic. Let's see. Nice. I just kind of focus in on where we need to go. Trying to look out for this this building that we're after. Just
Okay.
staying focused on that for a notice.
Okay.
I'm gonna Benny
2
that.
and a 2. All right, spending the Benny. And we get a 2 and a 4.
I'll take it.
Taking the 4, that is a success. That is 9 markers, and with that, you ride swiftly across the Higgins Bridge and through the streets of Missoula, hanging a left on Pine Street as the sheriff instructed you, and riding down to the far end, you see the large 3-story hospital building, still partially under construction. They're improving and expanding their capacity, but it's known as the Sisters of Providence. You are ushered in as you come, and you frantically tell them what had happened. And the sisters listen, and once they realize what you're talking about, prairie ticks, they grab you both and start and lead you back through the building to a room where they have some tables to put you on.
Oil. Give me some damn oil.
They strap each of you down with thick leather belting, and then one of the sisters calls for the vice, where these head blocks are brought in and placed on either side of you, where they can sort of like prevent you from pulling your head away, as they also lock into position a funnel and begin to pour a quart of castor oil down both of your mouths, and while holding your head still with leather straps and a couple of extra hands, just to make sure you don't fight your way out of it, because it does feel like drowning as they do this. Both of you have to make a vigor check to keep this down. We're gonna go with Morrow first.
Dropping that vigor check, only
That's
with
a
a
success.
4.
That is
is
I'm sorry.
all we need, or?
Nope. I'm sorry. You have this. You have a -2 penalty on this vigor check. Castor oil is some nasty stuff.
Okay. So let's drop a personal Benny.
All right.
And,
Just click the just click the Benny
Yep.
button right there on the 5
Still
is
a
not
failure because of the -2, right?
enough. Yep. So
Owie.
you're spurting up castor
Blood.
oil, and they're saying, no, not blood, just castor oil, as they're trying to force
Oh.
it down you, and you're like, and you hear the nurses calling out, they're like, he's not taking it. You gotta accept it. Let it in. Swallow it all. You gotta swallow it all. Give me. You want to spend another Benny?
I would like to, yes, drop
Okay.
another one, and this is going to be obviously a success. Come on, give it to me. Give it.
Looking good.
Yeah.
Oh! No, hang on. 7 minus
For-
2.
7
No,
minus 2
yep.
is still
A
a
five.
5.
It's
So
a
we've got a
5.
base success.
That is a success.
Alright.
You feel your nerves fighting against it, your body fighting against it. But as the sisters try and soothe you and calm you down, you sort of let it down into your stomach, and all of a sudden you can feel this squirming sensation as all those bugs that had crawled down your throat begin to flee now, crawling back out, and they're like, your eyes kind of look panicked and go wide, and they're like, and one of the nurses says, "All right, I think they're coming," and they release, they pop the straps on the vice that's holding your head still, and they turn your head to one side as they hold out a bucket, and you begin to and out of your mouth comes this pile of castor oil and red prairie ticks, just kind of like dripping into the bucket, and you can hear them scrabbling and gurgling in the oil in the bucket, and they turn towards.
Oh, that's brilliant. So the success is that I get to barf up a bunch of those ticks. Like,
Yeah.
That's the best benefit of what might happen. I love it.
And they turn around to Amy, and they move the funnel over there, and they start pouring the castor oil down his gullet. You can feel it filling your mouth and in your throat, and give me that vigor check. Keep it down. Three after the modified is not going to be good enough. So again, you begin spurting, and it flows out from your mouth, and it's getting stopped at your throat and not making it down to your stomach where it needs to be. You want to spend a Benny on that?
Yes.
You can we got one of yours or one of the hunting grounds.
I will. I'll go with one of mine.
All right, just click the re-roll button
Yep.
there, and I'll spend one from here. Cage from the spirits.
Oh.
All right, you want to try again?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This time, the Amy's body is really fighting against it, and it's not. I'm going to say, in the process of doing this, you have to make just a simple vigor check, not lose another point of fatigue from blood loss, and then you try again.
Okay. Straight vigor.
Straight up vigor.
Can I assist him by like cheering him on, since we have like an old friendship connection?
Yes, you may. You can attempt
What
to
would
do
I
the same
use?
thing the nuns were doing.
Persuasion?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. Give me a
Okay.
persuasion roll. As things get dangerous. Let's see. How was that success? That was a 4. That is a success. That is going to be a +1 to your vigor check.
Okay.
But this is just the vigor
So
check.
I'm like,
and not-
Amy, you're
is-
tougher than this.
Are you using this? Are you trying to give him the bonus to his just basic vigor to not lose a point in fatigue, or are you going to try and encourage him next round when he tries to hold the castor oil down?
I'm trying to get him to like hang in there right now because I know that he's like
Okay.
fighting
All right.
for his life. Yeah.
All right. So, give me that vigor check at +1. That one's great.
Damn
That
it.
one would be great for that castor oil. No blood loss. The tick, maybe the tick is you can feel it squirming around. It knows there's castor oil, coming in. You're swallowing some of it, but it's not yet enough to make it totally dislodge and break free. But now we're moving into another hour, and the nurses are still working very diligently, trying to get you to keep enough of the castor oil down to suffocate the tick. Give me another roll. This time at -2. Oh, harsh. That is only a 2 at the -2. Would you like to try and spend a penny on it?
I will. I am out, so I will borrow from our...
All right. Aid from the spirits has been applied. Just give me just click that reroll button.
Oh, come on.
Harsh. All right. I'm giving you 2 attempts in the span of an hour to try and to do this, and that was your first failed attempt. Unless you're going to spend another penny on this one. Otherwise, you get another one, just another straight up roll, and then and if not, then they're beginning to run low on the castor oil. They only have so much of it on hand,
right?
But they probably have enough to like take care of like a couple cases at a time. So,
all right, we'll just go with the standard vigor, just to kind of stay alert. Straight vigor, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
All right. This is you're beginning to fade. Your vision begins to kind of like wash in and out as you're doing this. The stress of all this is beginning to overwhelm you, and that the block on your head is really confining and kind of like pushing in onto you, and just feels ever tighter and closer, and it's getting harder and harder for you to breathe right now.
I reach up behind me. Get this damn block off my head.
And the nurses, the sisters are like, no. This trust us, son. This is what you need. We need to keep your head still so that the funnel can get the castor oil in you. All right, just relax, boy, and this will work. You gotta let it in you though. But you do notice that one of the sisters has taken out her rosaries and is just praying. But as she says her prayers, let's see here. Sister Mary Margaret Kelly makes a faith roll. And she does not sound all that confident. Rolling a 1 on her faith there. You can hear the panic in her own voice, and it does not provide you any aid in your calm, so to speak. So I tried. Give me another vigor check to keep this next batch of castor oil down. Unless anybody else would like to assist.
And it's not just an assist, but perhaps if Bob could drop in a boost trait, like is it like he's there sort of.
Feel free to work your black magics in front of this room of nuns.
Black? Whoa! It's not. Black magics is a little bit intense.
What's the worst that could happen?
But I mean, compared to the nuns, sure, it's going to be black magics. But I mean,
Sister Mary, whatever,
I feel like
getting
Amy
rosary mixed up.
Yes, like if there's a rosary being involved, then Bob is also just sort of standing by that same same watch, and just wishing Amy to be like to survive, and to be able to take on down that castor oil, and just to be able to do better. So potentially I'm like
Okay.
there's a little bit of cost potentially in serving up the boost trait as something obvious, like maybe the nuns catch it.
Well, you
maybe
don't
they
tell me what.
and are-
Don't I mean
or-
don't.
or-
So you're gonna try and use the boost trait, right?
right, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So as a huckster, your powers are almost always very blatant when you use them. You're gonna have to do something
Right.
special to
Right.
hide it.
Okay.
There's always something glowy and cards that pop out of nowhere going on. You're gonna have to give me some. You're gonna have to
Right.
be extra sneaky to hide that fact.
in order to hide it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It is.
I don't
Can
know
I
part of
make
the
a
Draw
drawback.
distraction
is
to
it?
support him?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Bring
That's
it
perfectly
in.
viable.
Like,
You can. Yeah, sure. But let's hear you guys discuss that here.
okay.
All
Because
right.
you don't have a psychic connection that allows you to just know what he's trying to do. Bob has got to.
Right.
Let's hear
right.
Bob say something about it.
Bob, I
think-
imagine I
think-
look over at you and I see like your face like kind of looking weird.
And
I look over and-
and Bob sort of digs into Amy and just sort of starts massaging them and just starts
What?
I mean,
Oh.
they're not going to punch the throat that that you did, but I think they're still willing to like, because they've already suffered from the
Is this
same
what
sort of
Morrow's saying?
infection that yes, like Bob Morrow sort of starts to work out the infection as potentially he knew it from himself. Like he's already been cured of it, but Amy still needs to be cleared of it. So he's sort of just sort of working that sort of throat vibe, and hoping to get the ticks on out.
Wait, so you're
Oh,
not?
so you're not using magic.
You're not going to use magic now.
Oh no. It's that's the way that he's disguising it. So like it's
Oh.
laying on hands.
No.
Like would.
Okay.
or-
I was confused here. I'm trying to because you still have to conjure up those cards as you're doing it.
Right.
There's
but-
always an
but
obvious
he-
magical effect when you use these powers,
Okay.
unless you hide it somehow.
So can I make a distraction with my
Or-
athletics?
Or you feel like you said, so you may, but are you going to give anybody in this room warning about this before you do it?
Me?
Bob.
Bob, yeah, I feel like he might, just because
How? Let's
Jem
hear it.
is willing to.
What do you say?
You ready for this? Let's do a throat punch. Let's make this clear.
So when I hear that from Bob, I'd like to just like run up to Amy and start kind of like trying to get pry the thing off of his head so I can just hold it in place. Like I move the nuns out of the way. I'm like, come here. And I just like grab him in my hands, and I like start like trying to like pry the thing off of him as Bob is doing his.
Okay,
Okay.
then the nuns, they're a little shocked when you start doing this, but they're not gonna fight you as you start pulling the thing off. They stand back and they say, yeah, he really needs this. It's the only thing that's helping him right now. But yeah, you with a 4, you get you provide enough of a distraction in doing this. The nuns are all definitely looking at you as you're doing this. That Bob has a little bit more, gets a little bit more of a benefit, a +1 to his stealth roll as he's trying to cast this magic. Give me a stealth roll.
Awesome.
And like I think Bob's sort of like we don't have time for this sort of medicine. We need the proper stuff, and that's when he brings out the cards. Like, we need to do this with correction.
Okay, so a 5. Is that with the +1 added in? It was not, so 6 all day.
It's not. So it's 6.
I got it.
Yep.
So with a 6 all day, that is enough. You are able to get off your spell without the nuns seeing it. They are very distracted,
Nice. Okay.
except for
Right.
maybe one of them, which I'm going to roll secretly.
I love it. Love it.
And not going to tell you what the result is.
Yep.
There's
All
going
right,
to be a
but
witch hunt,
meanwhile-
guys.
But meanwhile, why don't you make your
Spell casting test?
spellcasting roll?
All right, we'll drop a boost trait on Todd just to help them hopefully recover.
All right. Why did you have a -2 on that?
Because of those clubs. Oh my goodness.
No, you shouldn't have gotten a -2 on that. So I'm just going to remove that. That is a 5.
Untrained for some reason.
It rolled as untrained.
Yeah.
Oh, it did roll as untrained. That is very strange. Okay, hang on. I think I know why. That's
Weird. Okay,
it's a
so
weird
I can also
powers
drop.
do when they're not properly. So you're doing boost trait on that, right?
Right. I can also drop a spellcasting roll into chat if that's better.
No. I just got to add spellcasting to your power description here. Spell casting. We're gonna take that roll. You get it unless you want to try and get a better roll.
Well, he has a
Yep.
D8.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So in that case,
I can drop the D8, so it's a 6.
6.
essentially. So
That is-
not
that
quite not quite a raise, but still a success, which I
Yeah.
believe provides that.
It allows you to
Or-
it boosts his it boosts his die type by 1. So his vigor
So,
die type
right.
by 1. All right, so in that case, let's see, Haddock here, and what? So let's see. There we go. Boost trait, boost, and that is your vigor type, right?
Yeah, I got it adjusted. It's up to an 8. Yep.
Oh well, I was going to put a
You got an effect?
I was going to put an active effect on, but
Yeah, that.
hang on 1 second. Didn't seem to take there. Vigor 2 boost. There we go.
Okay.
So yeah. It's not working.
So that did a +2. It didn't raise my die type.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on 1 second. Try that one more time. Active effect. Boost. I did attribute modifier, yeah. Die sides. There we go. Vigor 2 applied. There we
it
go.
goes.
All right, so give me that vigor check.
-2, right?
Still a -2, yes.
I lay there fighting this off, and internally conflicting with both fighting the oil, but also knowing I have to take this down. And as I feel Jem's hands, I put one of my hands up to his as he holds my head in support, and hoping that causes some calm through myself.
Now, you took a level of fatigue, though, right?
I think I did, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
and I
so-
didn't mark that, so...
I marked it in. I did.
Okay.
So, just making sure. So that's a 2. Still got a bunch of bennies.
Yeah,
Looks like they're back up to 12 again.
We're gonna use one.
Okay. Marking it. 1. That's weird. Yeah, because it's
-3.
-3 all day.
Oh.
Now, when the blood loss kicking in.
Give another
With
Benny.
Okay. Go ahead.
Give me an explode, my goodness.
You can keep using these bennies. You can keep going as much as you want. You got 10 of them. You're gonna hit once. There we go. 4.
That's it.
There we go.
That's- Woo!
Finally.
Nice.
Many a Benny has
That was
spent.
an ordeal.
You got it.
Quite an ordeal.
You made it,
Um,
Amy. You made it.
And finally, you choke enough of it down, and you can feel the thing inside release and squirm, and a sharp pain spreads through your belly. And you begin to call out, saying that something's wrong.
Annie's eggs ain't sitting right. Oh.
And one of the nurses begins to scream as blood pours across the table. And the last thing you hear them say is, "It's coming out the back." As
No!
as something digs through your spine and all goes white.
It's a boy.
And as you open your eyes, you're laying in a cot, and it's the next morning, and you realize that last bit must have been a nightmare you had in the night.
Must have.
You quickly feel for your side. There's a woman sitting at the edge of your bed, mopping your forehead with a damp cloth, dressed in a long gray dress with white lace collars and cuff. She goes,
As I-
easy.
I wake up and I
easy."
grab her in I start, and I just call out, Santa.
I'm sorry, son. I don't know who that is. Is that a friend of yours? Do you want me to look for him?
It was not. Pardon me. What's going on?
You had a rough night. I hear some sort of parasite got into you. Your friends are nearby. They've been here all night. Want me to get one of them? Mr. Morrow and Freeman?
Yes. How is Mr. Morrow?
Oh, you just rest. I'll go get them. She gets up. Very, and she kind of very quietly moves out of the room and into the corridor where Freeman and Morrow are waiting, kind of like sitting on a wooden, not very comfortable wooden bench that's kind of out there in the corridor for visitors. A woman comes out, very, she's not one of the nuns, but you haven't actually you haven't got a chance to talk with her. She must have come in after you guys kind of fell asleep here on the bench after the events of last night. And she looks at you and she goes, "Your friend is awake, finally."
Start up right away, and I rush into Amy's room to his bed. And Like I like grab his hand and I go, "Hey man, are you all right? Almost lost you a second time."
I give a little bit of a little tinge of confusion in that, but then squeeze his hand and say, I think I'm all right. Not sure you don't plan on sitting on no horse for a while. That's for sure.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. That was some gnarly stuff, but we're brothers and we always will be.
I appreciate it. How's Mr. Morrow?
I look behind me and I say, "Bob,
I think
get."
like I think he just sort of looks in from behind and attests, "You're silly to be worried about me. Like it was you we were concerned about. Ain't no words or ain't no worries about my status. You good?"
I've been better. It's, I think I've been worse too.
It was a difficult night. We weren't sure about you. You screamed a lot in your sleep, says the woman from the doorway.
I do that.
No.
I understand. We see that a lot. More and more.
I'd like to introduce myself to the lady.
She is a very tall, striking, dark-haired woman. Like I said, long gray dress, long sleeves, white cuffs and collar, very deep, kind of sultry voice, but has a certain inflexibleness to her. She's very stiff at the same time. And give me a notice roll.
I make a mental note to give Jem some shit for trying to pick up women while I'm on my almost deathbed.
Listen, the party doesn't stop just because you're sick.
Cheers to that.
How do you introduce yourself?
Like I turn and like I've already seen this lady. Like she asked me to come in. But I look at her as though it's the first time I'm noticing her.
Yeah.
And I go, "Oh, morning, ma'am. Jem Freeman, this is my dear friend Amy that you done saved. Thank you very much. May I ask who you are? I'm not familiar with you. Would have noticed you here last night."
Well, I wasn't here last night, she says. I do the morning rounds. I see to the patients. Part of my charity work. My name's Virginia
Charity
Slade.
work, you say?
Yes.
Oh, Virginia Slade. It's so nice to meet you, ma'am. Charity work, you say? What brings you to this hospital?
Well, I support the Sisters of Providence in their endeavors. I've came into a significant amount of money over the course of my life, and I like to make sure that it goes to good use.
Oh, you're mighty generous there, ma'am. You quite religious then?
Of course. Give me a notice roll. Oh.
I'm noticing all the stuff.
She says, of course, in a way that you see right through. Like, no, doesn't seem to matter a spit to her.
So, I kind of wink at her and I go, "Yeah, I'm a mite religious myself."
He goes, and when one is in the occupation that I am, one must be doubly kind to the church.
And what do you do, Miss Slade?
I run the town brewery as of a month ago.
Oh, an alewife, I guess. Are you the sole owner, or is there a Mr. Slade that likes to pony up to the bar there?
I won't have you make a roll on this. When you mention a Mr. Slade, she goes cold. You can see her jaw kind of tighten, and she goes, "There is no Mr. Slade any longer."
I'm sorry to hear that, ma'am. I hope I haven't touched a live wire.
No, it's been 10 years now.
Well, thank you so much for saving my friend. Maybe I can treat you to a drink sometime as payment.
I probably made it. Depending.
I was thinking something a little harder, for a real celebration. Not one of your fine ales, but perhaps my friend Jack or Jim.
I reach up and I grab Jaemison. Jem, I'm due for, I think I'm due for one more sponge bath here. If you want to take my place.
I kind of shake out of my jam because I'm really into it, and I look at Amy and I go, "Oh no, Amy. I'm gonna excuse myself out to the waiting room and let you go ahead and have a good morning." And I tip my hat and I walk out, trying to give some room.
What is Mr. Morrow doing during this?
I feel like he wants to just serve as that wingman and just assist Jem with that sale with the nurse. He didn't have a persuasion check with them, but I feel like he wants to just help on out. With
do you say anything, or you just kind of stand in the background, being a hype?
A hype man? Yes. Yeah. I think he just sort of tips his hat and just nods hey, what? Maybe you want to follow on up with this stuff.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's a persuasion check or maybe we don't roll because
no, that's all right.
Or he didn't try it, but because
I'm not getting into mechanics right now. I'm just trying to get into some role playing.
Yeah, no. I think Bob is just sort of tipping his hat and leaning towards Jem, suggesting hey, make sure you don't miss out on this opportunity. That's maybe you don't want to. Maybe you don't want to.
There's a lot being said in that tip of a hat. How much of it
Bob.
you pick us up on, you're not sure.
I look Bob up and down, and specifically at his waist, and I don't see anything extra hanging around there, and on the back side, and Bob looks like he avoided a blowout, unlike myself.
It was awfully rough. I'm not gonna lie. I probably puked up a lot more than you did, but
to be clear, the other two of you,
safe?
Yeah, the other two of you don't know what he's talking about. You saw that tick. You were in the room when that tick came crawling out of his mouth. The bit of it crawling out of his back was a dream he had later on in the night. He doesn't remember it coming out because of just all the blood loss and the panic of the moment. He has no memory of it when it actually got free. His memory was a combination of nightmares and the pain that he still felt from earlier.
Right.
So,
Okay.
just to clarify a little bit, do I have, other than that nightmare, do I have a sensation on my backside that?
No. When you
Okay.
go to feel your back, it's fine.
Okay, all right.
There's no wounds. The tick did not go crawling out of you from the side. It came up the natural way. And the rest was your own
Okay.
terrified mind
Right.
concocting a nightmare for you, as it is wont to do with when you have hindrance like night terrors.
Yeah.
You often wake up not exactly sure how much of what you remember was your own nightmare and how much is reality.
Right.
You're just always a little unsure about, and so you quickly do a check to make sure everything's still accounted for, and you're feeling better. I will say that actually the fatigue that you earned last night actually has gone away in the night, so
Okay.
you're back down to 0. Bob Morrow, your PowerPoints are back. You've had plenty of rest since then.
And I think Bob is sort of trying to reassure Amy on, like, look, it wasn't so bad. We brought up those ticks. You'll be better. Like, we can all get better. And I was like, I had those same little walnut-sized ones that you did, and there's no reason to worry. Like, just feel better soon, and we'll make sure that you're healing on up.
Just kind of put a hand out, just kind of to his waist or side, just as a touch Bob and just say, thank you. I appreciate it.
With that, Mrs. Slade says, I'm going to go get one of the sisters. I'm sure once they give you the okay, you'll be free to leave. She gives you all a nod and kind of walks off down the hall.
I don't recognize her, do I?
Give me a common knowledge roll. Okay. You are pretty confident she was never a woman that striking was never a resident of Hellgate.
Okay.
Yeah, she was not around when you were a kid. And you're pretty positive of that. You'd remember. So, after a while, one of the nurses comes in and checks on you. Actually, a couple of them do. They stand and they want to make sure that you're doing all right. They give you some coordination tests. They ask you to stand up, and make sure you're feeling okay. Then just kind of give you a once over to make sure before that you're okay before they let you go. And they say, no need to worry about it, but the sheriff said that he'd pay for the stay, but we are a charity, so if you have the chance, do come back when you and the box will always welcome any donations that you have. Other than that, they'll discharge you out onto the front street. Give me a notice roll as that's going, as that whole process is going on. All of you guys can.
Oh, come on.
Okay, Jaemison rolls a 7. I see Amy with a 3, and Morrow?
Just a
roll a
3
3.
on
3.
Bob.
Okay.
Yep.
You pick up, Jem, a snippet of conversation between the sisters as they are as they're just walking him through all these different things and down the hallway. They're not making it, they're being kind of quiet about it, but the two of them are commenting about the you get the impression that they're talking about somebody else who died last night.
Am I harrowed?
They're talking about somebody who died last night and what a shame it is that he can't be buried in the church grounds now.
What?
Because he was such
How
a good
secretive? How secretive does it look like this conversation is? Like, are they just like out open, or are they trying to hide it?
They're talking certainly quietly between themselves. They're not trying to let everybody else in on the conversation, but you hear it. It's not like they're like whispering and looking askance at you as they do it. They're just like very quiet. In the way that they're not trying to share, medical information with other people. They're just like, they're very quietly talking about it. Oh, such a shame. He was such a fine young Christian man.
So then I can't just ask.
You can, yeah. There's no reason.
All right. So I'd like to kind of just like
As long
look
as
around
it's a cute
first and
girl
then
that's
kind of
talking.
It's a cute.
It's a cute nun.
Yeah.
Jem accepts that they're married to the Lord, and he approaches very gentlemanly, takes his hat off. Excuse me, sisters. I couldn't help but overhear that you might need some help burying a body. I wasn't sure who died, but if you need, I got some nice strong hands, and I'd be perfectly all right going down to the churchyard and digging you a grave.
Oh, well, unfortunately, Morgan Bennett, while a Christian, died of a mortal sin and cannot be buried in the churchyard. He hung himself last night.
Morgan Bennett, you say? Of the Bennett brothers?
Yes. Oh.
Am I in earshot?
Yeah, oh yeah. This part, once she broaches the conversation, you all hear it.
I imagine, especially when I exclaim, and I look back at Amy, like when I say Morgan Bennett, like I look at Amy, like Morgan wasn't
recalled who they were after the fact. Definitely. So
yeah.
Okay.
Morgan didn't seem like the type who would commit such a sin or blaspheme in that way. Do you know who found him?
They all the nuns all shake their head and kind of, you see them all kind of quietly cross themselves and whisper a small prayer, and then they say, he was found in the early light this morning by the work crew, and they came to that structure that he was building. So much pain he must have been hiding.
My word. Morrow, you said you ran into Mr. Bennett up at that structure, right? You said he was that's where you found his acquaintance, made his acquaintance?
He was awfully pleased there. He was wearing his belt, and he was driving those nails true and straight. I'm a little bit surprised that he might have filled things out this way. He was so happy. Like that structure was awfully I don't know. I read pride in everything that he said, and I don't reckon this would be the way he'd want to end things.
Thank you so much, ladies. We're gonna have to go talk to his family, see if we can help with the funeral proceedings.
They nod. Bless you. Take care, and perhaps stay clear of the weeds in the future.
Yes, ma'am. So,
Okay.
like, after we're clear of the nuns, I want to like
Yeah.
recap with Amy and Morrow, like what the f is happening.
Before that,
Yeah.
on our way out,
Yeah.
I will grab.
More.
I'll grab $5
Okay.
and throw it to the whatever this is.
There's a little donation box.
Yeah,
Near the
yeah.
doors.
I'll
Yeah.
throw a fiver in.
Okay. And then you're out on the street. You're kind of like the let's see, activate this. Bringing up the town map here of Missoula. You guys, way over here on the far side of town. I suspect the horses you rode down in on are still probably tied up out in front, though. But there's, there we go. As you can see, the little where the map pin is there, the big red pin, that is the Sisters of Providence hospital there, way over there on the edge of town. And as a frame of reference, the Delmonico is, let's see, right about, oh, that's a tiny little pin. Let's see if I can make that bigger. Yeah,
Right by the bridge there.
Right there by the. It's right there by the bridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
And actually, I'm not even going to have you guys roll to notice this. Right there behind the Delmonico, the big building there on the. Move the pin over to it right now. Big building there, right there on that sort of platform out over the water. That is the Missoula Brewery. The only one that you've seen so far here in the town. So that is probably the same said one that Virginia Slade is now currently the owner of. So not that far away from the Delmonico. Pretty easy to get to.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what is you're back out there on the street now, and you can start. What do you guys say to each other about this?
Bob is very suspicious. He was a happy builder. I don't see him. It just doesn't seem right that he would end his days before the construction was complete. Like, I mean, we've got the 20th anniversary coming up, and even if he wanted to end things, why wouldn't he fit to complete these bleachers before time was up?
Did Bob? You seem to say that he was full of pride of that project. Did you get any sense that perhaps there was heavy pressure to get that done?
He wasn't stressed in any way. I wouldn't say that he felt things needed to be completed before time came through. He only had description of what might happen if and when it were complete. I reckon he was ready to be clear of all of that. Like he wanted to see this through to its completion.
It's been a long time since I was around Morgan, but he was certainly the type to look out for others. Sometimes, you spend so much time doing that you don't look over yourself, and but that just still doesn't seem right for Mr. Bennett. Something I agree.
only
Something
met
is
him
fishy here.
on a dark hungover morning when I might have decided better, but he was awfully generous in terms of what he provided, and I reckon he was a good man. I can't see why he would do this.
Marshall, you said that he has a brother, right?
The wagon, Bennett Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Wagon shop.
Yeah, he
There's a
runs,
whole-
he runs
there's
a
whole-
wagon and hardware shop called the Bennett Brothers. So, and both of you natives, I would say, yeah, you remember that there was a slightly younger Bennett to Morgan. Yeah, Morgan was the older of the two by about
Okay.
a year or two.
What
Okay.
what time
And
is it?
they're both older than us.
Yeah, they were in their they were like the last bit of I mean, in the 1800s, you turned 16, you're an adult, but they were still running with the kids. They were like 8. The younger brother was maybe 16. He was about 18 when you were 8, so they're about 10 years ahead of you guys.
Okay.
Give or take.
Is it the morning?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Y'all want to get some breakfast?
I'm
I
ready
didn't
for
think
an
I'd be able to
eggs.
eat after all that, but I could try.
Yeah, I think it's maybe more just the idea of it than but I think I need to sit down.
Beer's breakfast.
Okay. So as you guys move through town, I'm going to use this map pen rather than moving your characters each and every time. So as you're stuck together here, you got to head up Pine Street and then down to Front Street. And as you walk this way down Front Street back to the Delmonico, or walk your horses. I'm not sure if you're riding or whatnot. You pass through this outer edge, and this part of the town, which you hadn't visited quite just yet, you see it has a very strong Chinese population. As you move through here, you see a lot of washing houses are set up here, but also you see some of the more red light district-y places are also set up here. Various combination of some individual ladies' houses or full-on. There's one or two full-on bordellos you see in operation here as you go walking by. But they all seem to be confined to this one little triangle of Missoula here. This one little section of Front Street, and then when you get down here to the corner of Front and Stevens, they seem to cut off, and it's just saloons and stuff and other things like that. Right after that, saloons, and like I said, and this is the street that you've been on. This is where the blackjack is, and a couple of barber shops. A place where you can go get a bath, that sort of thing. And then down at the end, and as you reach the corner there, you're back at the Delmonico.
Come on, Jem. Desserts for after the meal.
Yeah, all right. Let's get in there.
It does not look like
Liquid
they're
breakfast.
particularly up and open for business at 11 o'clock in the morning. So it's probably best to give it some time anyway.
Well, there's a paying customer. I'm sure they'll rustle
who
something
knows?
up, but
All right. So as you walk into the Delmonico, the bartender from your previous visits is there, kind of doing double duty as bartender and wait staff for the breakfast. You don't see any sign of Annie at the moment. You sit down, you look for some breakfast. He comes out and brings you what you guys asked for. It does seem like there's sort of a strange, subdued pallor over everybody, though, as you go walking through the town, as if everyone seems extra quiet and kind of puzzled. You expect news of Morgan Bennett has begun to spread already.
Is it puzzlement, sadness, combination of everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of a common. Yeah, I mean, without opening up in a conversation, you just get this kind of weird sort of just feeling from everybody as you go by. Definitely not as raucous and as carefree as it was just yesterday. You know, even in the morning, everything seems like everyone just seems to be like staring into their drinks a bit more. So
I feel like I'd probably keep my station similar as we kind of mosey in. Just kind of respectfully, not like staring at people or looking like we're not honoring the fact that somebody's dead.
Yeah. Sheriff said that I should give you a message when you guys get back from the hospital. The bartender says as he's bringing you guys your plates of food. Elias was his name. He says Sheriff stopped in, said that your friend Clayton is at the jailhouse. That he got
what did he do this time?
Well, he said that he got the full accounting of your previous activities, and he points out to the street. And taking your fine civic duties into account, he has locked up Clayton for disturbing the peace for the next 48 hours.
Well, that's
that
48 hours. That's 48 hours. The peace will be undisturbed.
All right. And the guy puts the plate, brings anything else? Water? Something stronger?
I'd like a big glass of. You got any of that Slade made brewery beer?
Oh yeah. Sure. Coming right.
Yeah, give me 2 pints of that and some toast.
All right.
Just a water here for me, Elias. Thank you.
All right. And then he heads off. So, any conversation you guys have, anything you get into, waiting to see what you guys do next.
Well,
I feel maybe we should go pay our respects to the rest of the family.
Okay. All right. So
and
no, go on.
Bob has some Bob almost has some questions. Like, what did you know? He seemed like such a. It seems like a loss. Why would such a good builder be one that we're rising drinks to now? Seems wrong.
Bartender appears to be Elias appears to be somewhat eavesdropping on your conversation. You should do it. He's like, yeah, it's pretty strange, ain't it? I mean, Morgan used to come in here more often than not. It just never struck us as that sort of feller,
Elias,
Very
what do you know
positive.
about this festival here? Is there any competition to his what he was offering?
No, I mean, he was pretty damn good as a carpenter. A lot of the buildings here on Front Street, they're for the whole. He would put up their facade or had a hand in it, certainly. I mean, there were other hardware shops, but nobody took that much of a dislike to Morgan. He's one of our own. He'd been here since before Missoula was a thing.
Anybody else pass away unexpectedly recently? Maybe he shared in some kind of darkness with somebody else.
Well, there's Bodie, but I don't think anybody's really all that tore up about that. You know, there was a ranch hand. Another one, now that I think about it. About 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. Russell. I think he killed himself.
Nice boy, no reason off himself.
No, I mean, good, hard worker, young, about your age. What was his name again? Oh, Russell Howe? Russell Hugh? Something like that. Amy.
That's a real shame.
Amy and Jim, you, again, I'm not going to have you roll for this one. You remember Russell that you used to run with back when you were kids.
Do we know where he was working? Like, no, because we haven't been back in years.
Yeah, no, you don't know where he's been working right now. No, not off the top of your head. You'd have to definitely ask somebody about that.
So someone is picking off all of our old friends, and we're next.
Elias, you know where Russell is working?
He was a ranch hand. He kind of did odd jobs on whoever needed cattle moved and that sort of thing. But I think he worked mostly for the McClellans. Wow, gee, that's 2 of their boys they lost in that many weeks.
I see. That's a real shame. I'm sorry for your loss.
Well, yeah, it's a shame. He seems a little confused. Like he didn't really think of it as his loss, but he's not exactly a big reader on For Whom the Bell Tolls.
I didn't expect good things to happen when I come back to this place, but this is much more than anything I could have considered.
So, what is your next plan of action? Oh, fine, posse of mine.
Amy, I know originally we had wanted to kind of backtrack to your mom's ranch. I don't know if that's still the plan.
Eventually, I think I'm very hesitant. There's some hesitancy to that. And I think if something else comes up, I'd take an opportunity for a little bit of a distraction for that. So just
reluctant to head home.
Yes. Yeah, Jim. Certainly on the list. Once you get done with those pints, how about we head over to the wagon shop?
Pay our respects. I reckon that's a good idea.
Mr. Morrow, anything that you have in mind?
Head on over to that wagon shop. Sounds good. Okay. But also investigating into that McClellan space. Like, why don't we cast our lights there and just see what we can find.
Elias.
The Raj.
Yeah.
Did you?
He calls out to you. He's back over at the bar. He's not standing right there anymore. But he's like, he hears his name called. And he calls back. Yeah. What's up? You need refills?
I wave him over. I don't want to yell this across the bar. So if he's able to come over.
Yeah. Sure,
Elias, where did they find Russell?
I heard that he died, but where? It's strange. I don't think I really heard that. That you might have to ask. You might have to ask Sheriff Moses about that. He would. I know he. I remember he's who I heard it from, so he might. He obviously knows more about it than I. He seemed real reluctant to talk about it.
Can do. Thank you.
He's like, okay.
Bob is a little bit disturbed at that. Like if that's the answer that gets shared, he looks to Amy and gives like a little bit of a no, that's not right. We need to if there's no body or if there's no sort of understanding of what's happened, that's up to us to look into. Like that's if you don't know how they died, then someone needs to look into that and see what the answer is.
Well, it was implied that
yeah,
this was that Russell also, because they asked anybody else die like that, and that's when they came up with the name of Russell.
Right. But he just doesn't know where. Elias just doesn't know where he was found, but we know to an extent what happened. Well,
let's dig in. Like let's look deeper.
All right. So as you finish up your meal and you head out onto the street corner, you see a man come, hightailing it kind of like down the street in your general direction. You see him actually pick up pace when he sees the three of you. He's like walking kind of casually and sees you coming out of the Delmonico, and he kind of like starts jogging up a little bit quicker as you approach, and as he gets up to you, his really big, broad face, kind of like a little heavier, kind of like wild, kind of curly hair, and a strange, almost sort of Prince Valiant cut, kind of like poking out, but he's kind of like going, hairline receding and kind of like thin up on top, and it's created a strange, like almost triangular shape head as he kind of comes to. But he comes up to you and goes, hello! Hey, just the people I came looking for. In a strange kind of accented German voice. And he goes, how do you do? Hi.
Howdy, friend.
He's like going, Mr. Morrow. And he's like pointing at each one of you in turn. Mr. Morrow? He turns to you. Mr. Morrow?
I think Bob sort of condenses on it and just sort of convinces them that that's the right answer. And
did you say what? Did you start a nod? Point at yourself?
They call me Bob. I am Morrow.
How is your Aunt Rose?
I would be curious to know how she is, actually. I'm curious to know how she's doing. But it seems that for the time being, you could let her know that we are doing well, and that there are no storms coming, and that we are so healthy.
Oh, all right. You should come to the show. And he hands you all a pair of tickets. He says, very good, very entertaining. best hamlet in the entire Pacific Rim, he says.
Oh. Oh, let us see those slings and arrows that you would have us here.
Yes. Who would fathers bear the grunt and sweat of the weary life, but the fear of what comes after death? He hands you the tickets very pointedly, and then turns and tips a non-existent hat to the three of you and walks off down the street.
What does the ticket say?
It is they are tickets to the Missoula Opera House, which you go, this place has an opera house, and starring Daniel Bandman as Hamlet, and it's got a very crude but recognizable caricature of the man you just met, printed in woodblock on the tickets, and it's that's about it. You quickly disappears
Morrow, I
into the
didn't know
crowd.
you. Morrow, I didn't know you had friends in the theater. You a traveling man too? You some kind of tale teller?
Oh no, not me. But I do like enjoying the cinema and those tall tales. I can't tell them myself, but I do enjoy hearing tales of what might shake down.
All right, and with that, we're going to go to break. All right, and welcome back. So, our posse, after learning of the death of Morgan Bennett, had all decided to go down to the Bennett Brothers Wagons and Hardware Shop, pay their respects to the other brother of aforementioned. And along the way, they bumped into a very unusual figure by the name of Daniel Bandman, who offered them some tickets and a small bit of the bard's tongue. What seemed to be looking for Mr. Morrow specifically. What that was about, however, was not discussed. I return you now to the corner of Front Street and Higgins as they head a very short distance over to the Bennett Brothers store. Bob, you appear to be muted there. Or you said something, I didn't hear you say.
No.
There we go.
Hopefully I'm here.
There you
Yep.
go.
Nope.
Sounds good.
So Bob is definitely interested in digging into the Bennett brothers, as they are, like to just sort of size it up, potentially sort of figure out if there isn't Bob sort of wanted to size up the bleachers that were constructed.
Okay. Well, that's
for or
you cut off there.
Or sorry, Bob kind of wanted to know if they weren't digging into arcane stuff with the construction of the bleachers.
Okay.
But that was a hungover thought. Like he was he was looking up on those bleachers and just thinking like, what's really happening,
Right.
and I think he would be more interested at this point in digging into it's Bennett brothers. So we've got one Bennett, but we need to kind of know the other brother.
Right. Okay.
As we're outside the
So,
wagon shop
like-
hardware store here,
Mhm.
I'll just kind of pause, look up at the sign over top, and take a heavy breath and turn to the others and say, "Shall we?"
You walk
Yep.
into the. All right. You walk into the Bennett Brothers hardware. You normally expect a shop like this there'd be hammering going on, a bit of chatter, conversation that carries out the day, and it is very quiet as you come walking in. There are a significant amount of people. You'd think you'd be alone with how quiet it is, but there's about 5 or 6 people kind of all standing around and leaning up against a post here or there. No conversation whatsoever going being passed between them. However, everyone's just sort of like staring at their boots.
Look
or
around
at
and
a-
see. Do we know? We would know Morgan's brother's name, yes?
yeah, you recall it was like Earl. You think?
And do we see Earl amongst these figures in the shop?
Yeah, he's located somewhat centrally behind the counter at the back of the shop, kind of like standing there. You see a couple of these patrons are standing on either side of him, attempting to, like, they were consoling him, but they don't really know what to do at this moment. And and maybe just a passing, Earl, you don't really need to be open today. We'd understand and everything. And Earl appears to answer, I don't know what I'd do. Sit at home doesn't just don't make sense.
Let's kind of cut in and say, take my hat off. Sometimes the distraction helps. It's,
He looks up when you talk. He's like, "Thank you, sir. You knew my brother?"
Amy Haddock. It's been a while.
Kind of like thinks for a moment. And goes, "Little scrawny Amy."
Yeah, that's me. Still scrawny, not so little anymore.
Oh wow. Well, ain't that something?
Wish there was better circumstances to for this reunion here, but my my deepest sympathies to your brother, Earl.
Yeah. Well, ain't that? It's very weird. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. He turns to look over at the other, turns to look at the other two who came in with you. He says, "I'm sorry, folks. Came in on a weird day. If there's anything you need, I'm sure we can get around to it. You just gotta understand there's been a death in the family, and we're just trying to figure out what's gonna happen now."
We're here with our man Amy, just to wish you some condolences. We know that he knew your family, and we wanted to come pay our respects.
Well, thank you very much. It's yeah, was well, yeah, that's what most of the folks are here for, I guess. I don't think much work is going to get done today, honestly. Yeah, feeling like maybe it's getting a little crowded in here. Some of the folks kind of like say, "Well, Earl, we got to get back to what we were to to some other business. But if you need any help, you just give us a call. All right? He thanks them all, and about 4 of the 6 other people in the place kind of wander out the front, leaving it. You 3, Earl, and like 2 other people that are like just kind of pretending to shop, while they try and think of something else to say. He says, Amy, wow, it's been a long time.
Yeah, just a bit.
I don't think I would have recognized you.
We ran into your brother yesterday, and I almost didn't recognize him.
Oh, did he say anything to you yesterday?
It's been a long past night and morning. He ran into my counterpart here, Mr. Morrow. I believe they had a conversation about his little project up at the festival ground, or what you got going on.
He was mighty proud of that. He had big plans for what he thought that patch of land could have been turned into. He seems to like choke on the ends of that sentence there for a minute. Yeah.
He built bleachers that would be capable of filling almost all of the people in Missoula. Like he was so capable and so proud of the nails he drove.
Well, it's mighty fine of me to say.
No, it's not just on me, but he was worth that. Like he was capable. But
yeah.
Any idea, or what do you feel?
What do you mean?
Or
feels confused.
Oh, okay.
Kind of. It's weird.
How?
It's pretty obvious, Earl. I think that everyone is. This was unexpected.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was a good man that was capable of executing on a number of builds. Why did he do it? Or it's got to be. We're curious, I guess.
Yeah, me too, Mr.
Morrow.
Mr. Morrow. If I had any of those sorts of answers for you, I would feel a lot better. Or any clue that this was gonna happen. Fact is, I can't imagine Morgan would ever have done this.
Is he working on this project with anybody?
Well, plenty of people who are all working for him. Most of the people who did odd jobs around town. If the person didn't have a good paying job, he'd rope them into this sort of thing and make sure they got paid well and promptly.
Ever do any work with Russell the ranch hand?
Let's see. Russell. Yeah. I think so. I think it was part of his crew.
And what was your brother building?
some sort of grandstands, he called it. Some sort of like an outdoor place where they could throw a big party for the town. You know, the anniversary, the 20th anniversary of the first building scheme put down here is coming up, and people the mayor kind of wants to make a big deal out of it.
And that was directed by the mayor?
Well, yeah, it was his idea, I think.
All right. So, what do we got for
But everybody's, everyone
plotting?
likes the idea of, everyone likes the idea of having a party. Yeah. I'm sorry, what would you say?
What was the mayor's idea of sort of plotting it out? Like, did the mayor have any idea of how it would shake down?
Well, I mean, he had a whole like a list of things that were going to happen. I don't know what order, but band and a speech and shows of from the local opera, but performed outside. There was going to be some sort of like a midway they were going to set up across where a bunch of people could play games and that sort of thing. I think. Right. I think they're probably going to still try and put it on. I mean, the plans were already all drawn up. It's not like Morgan not being there is going to change that. I hope. I mean, he put so much work into it already,
Yeah, turn it into both a celebration for the town and a celebration of your brother's life as well.
That'd be mighty fun.
Well, I kind of give a nod to the others in trying to read the situation. Well, Earl, it was. I wish better circumstances, but it is great to run into you again.
Yeah, sure. He kind of dusts himself off and comes around the counter to kind of shake your hand. And as he does, he kind of like he shakes your hand, and then he goes, "No, I hope you don't mind." And he kind of pulls you in and gives you a big hug.
I do, yeah, definitely embrace him back, and
he says, "Well, if you need anything, or if you see to your mom, tell her that I said hi."
Yeah, well, it's I'm probably out heading out that way here soon enough. So, and that offer goes both ways. If you need anything, we'll be in town, I think, for a little bit. So,
I'm thinking I've had about all my well wishing for the day. I might be closing up for a little while, but we'll be back open. He says, "So folks, you can stop pretending you're browsing, and I'll see you out." And they all like, "All right, Earl." They all start heading for the exit, and he starts walking you guys out too. He turns to you, Jim, and he goes, "Sorry about your dad."
Thanks there, Earl.
He would have been proud of the man you become.
Jem gets a little choked up. He brings him in for a hug.
He holds you for, a little bit longer than you expected, and then he kind of like pulls away. He goes, "Well, see ya."
We'll definitely see you around.
And you hear him kind of like locking up as you guys get back on the street.
Bob, I didn't mean to cut off the investigation, but yeah, as you can imagine, Earl's in a pretty bad spot right now, and
Roger that.
but
Yeah.
yeah, but
All right. So, as that scene draws to a close, what is the plans the group there to do next?
I feel like we should maybe go talk to the mayor and see what in the world this structure is really for.
Yep.
All right. So, you do a little asking around. You find out the mayor, Frank Woody, is both mayor and county clerk for Missoula. And his office is back on Higgins Street, but one street up from front on Main, and next door to the sheriff's office.
did you say what was his name again?
Frank Woody.
Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Who stole my hat?
Yep. Yeah, I guess we'll head over that way.
Okay.
And see if the mayor is available.
Okay. So you head on up. Yeah, it's the middle of the day when you get there. Just move the just real quickly if you want to see. Right, Brennan Brothers not too far away from the Delmonico. Like I said, it's right over there. Mayor Woody's place is gunfire is probably not what we need right now. Mayor Woody's place is right over here. Along this front, along on Higgins Road here, just up the street. Basically, you can see the scaffolding of the fairgrounds right outside the mayor's office. Basically, you could, if he's sitting in his office, he can look right out and onto the grounds there, right outside.
That green pin.
Yeah, that green pin is the fairgrounds themselves.
Okay.
And that's way too happy for them. Just need some general. Let's go with this. There you go. That's good. That's better. A little less sad, but not full blown shindig.
As we go by, I just want to do a good generic glance over the fairgrounds as we go by and
Okay.
see if there's anything that sticks out.
All you see is a mostly wooden structure. You can imagine a couple places where you could, in a grim and unfortunate manner, you could hang a body from. But nothing. I mean, without in just a casual, cursory look, nothing just kind of jumps out at you.
Okay.
So, you'd have to get a much closer look. You'd have to walk off of Higgins and go over there and actually kind of search the grounds.
Mm-hmm.
But you're standing right in front of the mayor's office at the moment.
Would I be able to see, is there any people over there in the fairgrounds doing things? Is there like work going on?
It does look like that. Like some of the crew is slowly getting back to work.
Okay.
And the construction is continuing.
Okay.
You can hear some hammering going on.
So Jem walks into the mayor's office.
Okay. So you walk. All right. The place is fairly small, not particularly ostentatious or anything like that. Mostly, it's a desk for the county clerk, a doorway to maybe more of a private office for the mayor or something like that. But you see the door between them is just kind of left open, and when you walk in, he kind of like pops up. He's got more of a small bowler hat. He pops onto his head as he comes walking out, and he says, "Hi, folks. You here for some paperwork, or what's up?"
Yeah, we decided to come on around here. We heard you're in charge of this this anniversary party that's getting built. Some kind of grandstand.
That'd be me. How you do, Mayor Woody?
Nice to meet you, sir. Jim Freeman.
Jim Freeman. All right,
sir. We're my friend Amy here is well acquainted with what is his name? Morgan. Mr. Morgan that just passed last night. We were wondering if you could give us some more information about this this event that you're planning, since we can't speak to him.
Sure. Yeah, no, it's well, in about 2 weeks will be the 20th anniversary of the building of the Missoula Mills. Right over there, and he points down the street, in the direction down the street of Higgins, back to the bridge. That's where Mr. Warden and company built the flour and lumber mills, harnessing the swift waters of the Hellgate River. I was just county clerk back then. It was before I was elected mayor, and obviously because that was even before Missoula even existed. But very quickly, people flocked to here from all over, and it turned this into a proper town. And we're just celebrating the laying of that foundation, and now that Missoula's going through a massive population increase due to the fine arrival of the Iron Dragon Railroad this late last year, Missoula is set to not only go from a town, but a proper city, as we see it. And we're actually officially going to be named. You realize he's about to let something slip. He goes, "Actually, we're about to become named county seat of the entire county."
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, we're gonna be. It's gonna be pretty big. he kind of gives a little nervous laugh. If everything goes well, it'd be embarrassing if it doesn't.
So, tell me, Mr. Mayor. You said that this was constructed before Missoula was a thing. Where did everybody come from?
Well, we get people from all over, from all parts. I mean, Montana is a thriving opportunity for anybody who wants to cut some of the wild out of the West and help tame it. But most of the original inhabitants, they came from a town not too far down the Mullen Road, about 8 miles or so, about halfway between here and Frenchtown. It's not there anymore. There wasn't a lot of good freshwater access, and place kind of had a bad reputation, and folks wanted to start over, someplace cleaner and a little bit more hopeful.
I look at Amy when he says the place had a bad reputation and all that. Like when he's like talking about, I just look over at Amy and roll my eyes.
Yeah, I'm probably reflecting a little bit of that in my face. Yeah, just various emotions.
So was he one of them Hellgate folks then?
Yeah. No, I used. Oh yeah. Not a lot of folks remember the old town name, but I guess it's all over still. I mean, the river and mountain pass, but yeah, I used to live and work in Hellgate. I ran a shop back then.
What kind of bad
served-
reputation did you have?
Oh, no, I didn't have a bad reputation that I know of. No, I was ran a shop, worked for Mr. Warden, and did all the essaying and paperwork that we needed when they officially cut this part of Montana out as its own county.
I see. Well, you got a real nice town here. You're doing a pretty good job for these fine folk.
Yeah, we're becoming a town. We're not becoming. See, a lot of people think Missoula is just like a lumber town, right? That we're just here to cut down all the trees and make railroad ties for the Iron Dragon. But I think Missoula's got a real future here of becoming a place where businesses and families can come to and look for a new and brighter future. We got an opera house. I mean, that's.
I reckon we're gonna
right?
be. I reckon we're gonna be checking that out a little later. Got some.
You should.
Some Shakespeare.
Yeah, Daniel Bandman is a world-renowned Shakespearean actor. He's, he played for King Kamehameha. It's like
Kamehameha.
Yeah,
Or-
like out in them Hawaiian Islands. Now that's something. Well, so, did I answer your question?
I reckon you did. You need any extra help on that structure there?
Oh, well, not handling that directly. You should go check with the foreman, or whoever the foreman is now.
And where can we find that Mr. Warden?
You don't know who Mr. Warden is?
No,
well, roll right around the corner. Right around the corner is Warden and Company. It's the original founders of Missoula, and the people who've made Hellgate too. Warden was the very first building ever put. Warden and Company was the very first building ever built out here.
All right, I might do that. Thank you, sir.
You guys can give me a common knowledge roll. No, that's close, but not. Oh, no. Okay. No successes, but you do remember growing up, there was one store in your town, and it was Warden. It was the Warden's and Company store.
That's where he worked at?
Yeah.
Woody?
Yeah. But it was like the only place you could get supplies in pretty much the entire valley, from what you can remember. So, you walk back out. You leave it after that, or do you have any other questions for the mayor?
Jem kind of just backs up, like after he says that about the bad reputation and all that. Like Jem's kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't have anything further. Just kind of, I don't feel that there's anything too much more of value here. Yeah, it just kind of nod, tip my hat, say,
it's fishy, but I don't know why.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mayor, appreciate your time, and good luck with your little shindig here.
All right. Yeah. I hope to see you there.
If we're around, we'll see.
Okay. He goes back to, he turns around and walks back into his office, kind of sits back down in the chair, returns to the newspaper he was reading, you think? You're out there on the street, right next door to the sheriff's office. You're gonna stop in on Clay and see how he's doing.
Might as well.
All right.
And I'm also curious about Annie. Like, where are we at for her?
You mean the owner of the Delmonico?
Yes, and like if we could make some rolls on whether or not we've got that sort of like suggestion.
Okay.
Digging to
Well,
Amy. Digging to Amy
she's about a block away back at the Delmonico at the up on Front Street. You're kind of a little bit deeper into the center of town, which is really
Yep.
Yeah. Not
Too
really
far?
the center. Well, I mean, no, it's not too far. You're like a
Nope,
block away. You can just walk back.
It's out of the way, yeah. Let's go see if our itchy trigger is be let out on good behavior, perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So you stop into the sheriff's office, and you can see Sheriff Moses is actually there. He's kind of leaned up against the cell door, and Clay's kind of propped back. They appear to be just talking. And as you guys walk in, he says, "Oh, Clay, your friends are here." And he's like, "Man, tell him I'm asleep." He rolls over. Moses looks over and at the three of you and he goes, "He's asleep." And gives you a big wink.
I look around the room, like, you said his friends are here?
He's a cow. He's a cow pie, you mean?
He breaks out laughing and walks over to sit on the desk, and he says, "So, you guys look like you made out all right. Got any little youngins coming?"
Oh, they've already came.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good. And you're walking around. That's something. You know, I've seen plenty of men who didn't make it that far, especially that had to ride that far just to get into town. So
It's not easy, but here we are.
well then, excellent. So
Sounds like there's some things going on in town, though.
what do you mean?
You know, heard some bad news about Morgan Bennett.
Oh, yeah, that's going around. Didn't know you knew him.
I did. From a while ago, but
Yeah,
yeah.
strange business that. I'll tell you what, I knew Morgan Bennett pretty well. I mean, he was working right over there every day. I'll tell you what I think. Never seen a man less likely to kill himself in my life.
Sheriff, let me ask you this. Anybody else? We heard somebody named Russell also seemed to have maybe offed himself in a most unfortunate manner. Do you know if maybe they were acquainted? Maybe they both shared some kind of secret?
Well, if they shared a secret, they didn't share it with me. But Russell occasionally did odd jobs for Morgan, I think. They knew each other from the old Hellgate days. So whenever Morgan would have some line of work, he could always toss a little extra money his way. Russell was a itinerant worker, worked from one ranch to the next, based on wherever the jobs were and whatever needed done. I think he worked a little bit as a lumberjack, a little bit for laying track when the railroad was coming through, that sort of thing. You're a catch-all kind of laborer.
Sounds like he'll be missed.
No, I didn't have any complaints. Never had to lock him up for anything. So that's a loss to the community.
You got any family around these parts?
Russell? Oh, I think he had. I think he's not. Well, let's see. I think most of his family moved out when Hellgate shut down. He stuck around. He was old enough to live on his own. Liked the area. I think his rest of his family went out west, California goldfields, that sort of thing. You thinking something suspicious?
I'm just saying, everybody we talk to says Morgan was a good man. Amy and I know him to be a good man. And it's very strange that he's killed himself, and that's 2 different deaths pretty close together. Both men hanging themselves. I mean, sounds like y'all got some kind of epidemic or foul play.
Well, 2 points is just a line. Can't really predict much anything else just yet, but
And you said yourself, Marshal,
3 is
that,
mighty troublesome.
You said yourself, Marshal, that Morgan was the least likely of anyone you know to do that.
Yeah.
Does that not cause suspicion amongst yourself as well?
Oh, I'm mighty suspicious. Just can't prove anything. Not yet. But tell you what, you want to look into it. I got other headaches to deal with. You'd be doing me another favor. I know you can handle yourselves, and I know you're not necessarily going to go killing people over it.
Yeah,
No,
as
you
long
got
as that one stays behind bars.
That's right.
So long as plays, yeah.
It's not fair to put him under the bus when he's not here, right?
Do you have any suspicions about who or why?
Nope, his brother seemed just as confused as we are.
Yep.
I'll keep my ears open. As long as you promise to share what information you come across as well.
All right, Sheriff.
Mr. Morrow, had a visitor come by earlier today who was looking for you, Mr. Bandman. Did he find you?
Bandman. I think Bandman found me. Yes.
All right.
So, or did they leave a message with you, or?
No, he just said that he was
what?
looking for you. I said that you were down at the Delmonico's last I heard.
Right. I was down at the Delmonico, but you need to leave let them know I'll be there.
Okay.
In perspective, and in a long-term sort of suggestion.
Okay. I will do that if he comes by again.
And what was his name? Sorry?
Daniel Bandman. He's the local, what do they call it? Thespian. He runs the
an actor. Yeah.
He runs
I know.
He runs that opera house. He put little marks around because he runs that opera house they built over that old horse yard last year.
Right.
I'll tell you, when the summer, that's going to be a real interesting experiment once the summer heat starts kicking in and all that old manure starts flavoring the shows.
Stinking up. Well, yes. He'll be more than capable, I'm sure. Once that smell starts spreading out for everyone else.
So, you here to collect your friend?
I would be. I am.
All right. Well, he kind of goes, well, time served, I guess. Clayton, get up. Your friends are here for you. He starts unlocking the gate.
Just keep the cell warm.
You realize he's a good man. Like any time he's drawn was because it was deserved. Like he ain't drawn on any man that didn't draw on him prior, I reckon.
Yeah, I realize that, or I wouldn't be doing this. So here's the thing. Get him to not kill first. And save. Got enough going on here in town, and I got a mighty uneasy feeling about this Bennett thing. Can't quite put my finger on it, but yeah, I don't exactly know what's going to shake out, but you can kind of feel there's something interesting in the air right now, and that sense hasn't steered me wrong yet. But for the most part, everyone's looking to me right now to make sure everything seems kind of normal. So, wouldn't mind if I had a little extra help poking around, seeing what's going on. Help that isn't necessarily directed back at me. If you know,
we're discreet. You know we're discreet and we get the job done.
All right. So, why don't you poke around, see what you can come up with, and that'd be real useful. And that's all I have to say about that. He motions to Clayton's gear kind of hang up on a post, and swings open the cell door, and Clay gets up, mumbles something to the sheriff. He walks out, starts putting his belt back on. And with that, the stage is set for next week. I turned towards I turned
Awesome.
back to the audience out there in the hunting grounds, and I just say, well, thank you folks for tuning in to this little segment of the story. I know it was a whole lot of talky talk and not so much of the shooty shoot, but that was intentional. And thanks for watching. Tune in next week for more of the Deadlands. Let's go around real quick and say thanks to all our participants here this evening, starting with we'll start from the far left there with Jaemison Jim Freeman. Say hello to the fine folks at home.
Hello, everybody. Candace the Magnificent as Jaemison Jem Freeman. Thank you so much for being with us here tonight. If you guys are looking to find me, you can get me at Candace the Magnificent, all one word, on YouTube and Instagram. And then if you are looking on Reddit or Twitch, you can find me. Actually, no, Twitch is also Candace the Magnificent. If you're looking for me on Discord or Twitter or Reddit, you can find me at that Candace Girl. Thank you very much.
And next over playing tonight was Amadeaus Amy Haddock. We had Todd Moodbounce.
Thank you all for coming along with this evening's story. It was great on my end of things. I hope you enjoyed it. Todd Moonbounce, at Todd Moonbounce on Twitter, Todd Moonbounce on Twitch. So if you'd like to come hang out with me for my doings there, mostly other tabletops as well. Yeah, come back and see us next time.
And at the far end there, Bizarre Hands playing Bob Morrow.
Bob Morrow, thank you so much. I am Bizarre Hands. I have he and him as our pronouns, and I've been joining you from Treaty 4 territory, the sort of original lands of the Cree, Soto, Dakota, Lakota, and Nakota, as well as the homelands of the Métis. And I'm very grateful to be able to join you. If you want to check me up, I do have that Instagram and the Twitter stuff, but only for my dog. That's really, if that's really what you're subscribing for, it's only my pup. So that's just that.
All right, and I was your marshal for the evening. My name is Cheyenne Wright. That's my real name, born and true. Grew up with it for nigh on 50 years. Coming up in 4 days.
Oh, wow.
4 days, I'll be turning 50.
Happy early birthday.
So thanks for tuning in.
Happy birthday.
If you'd like to see more of what I do, you can go to arcanetimes.com, which is mostly a portfolio of the various artwork that I've done for role-playing games, video games, and the like. But you can also buy many of my fine handcrafted art prints there, also for sale. And we ship all over the world. So please check that out. And from all of us here and at Valor Studios, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you in the chat on Twitch for contributing all those bits and bennies. You kept Amy Haddock alive, that's for sure. And I believe the traditional sign off here at Valor Studios is love yourself, love each other. Let's make this a better world.